Hey Libra, it's Empress Rose here. Welcome to your reading. These are general readings, so we take what works, we leave what doesn't, as with everything in life. And if I don't catch your wavelength or storyline here, check your other major placements. Major placements are Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. So we're going to start off with the botanical inspirations for a little botanical inspiration. And then we're going to move to the Santa Muerte deck for a more traditional tarot spread. Little seasonal spread. Wouldn't that be cute if I got like Christmas tarot and Thanksgiving tarots? But the Santa Muerte deck started this whole channel. I got it right as coronavirus was hitting and realized I wasn't going to be able to read for people in person. So I really wanted to read it. All right, we've got one here. Any more? Almost. Okay, two more. Nasturtium, one of my favorite salad flowers. Nasturtium, victory and conquest. He who controls others may be powerful, but he who has mastered himself is mightier still. Lao Tzu. This is in line with Thich Nhat Hanh's beliefs on power. It all starts within. A sense of power, knowing who you are. But nasturtium, victory and conquest. Nasturtium is such a spicy plant. It's so delicious. And then we have snapdragon, just spicy in name alone. Graciousness and benevolence. No act of kindness, no matter how small, is ever wasted. Aesop. So snapdragons. A better name for a flower I have never heard. Asters. That is not a good name for a flower. Elegance and patience. Nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished. Lao Tzu. Oh, look, we've got two Lao Tzu quotes here. Asters, elegance and patience. Snapdragons, graciousness and benevolence. Victory and conquest. Wow, lots of like compounds here. I mean, they're just, they all have two of them. Victory and conquest. Graciousness and benevolence. Elegance and patience. Lovely. All right, and then we're going to move into the Santa Muerte Tarot. Some of the cards have some non-traditional meanings or images on them that take me a minute to connect it to how I understand the card to be. In general. So, all right, Libra. This is your past, your present, your inner landscape, what's at issue, your environment, your to-do list, and your possible outcome. All right. I think this is like the same to-do list you've had for a while here. All right. In your recent past, you have 10 of Pentacles. You have the maximum fulfillment a situation has been able to provide. Here we have a dilapidated farm. So this one shows sort of the end of the cycle. Most of them show the complete fulfillment. But this is this farm has already used up. We've gotten everything we can get. All of the treasure available in this situation has been gained and garnered. So it's the closing of a situation. It definitely has to do with definitely has to do with blank. There is some transformation here. Obviously we have this butterfly. So the end of one cycle, so it's like the end of the pupae cycle here, or the caterpillar cycle here. And so then we're changing, it's transforming into something else. Something has reached completion, having to do with work, having to do with money. There's like a maximum level having been achieved and set here. And it's time to move on to sort of the next farm, the next cycle, the next money-making venture, possibly. So this could be a completion of a job, a completion of a goal, something like that, something in real life. But it's been used up, and we've gotten all see, the treasure chest here is full. I don't know if you can see it, but it's full and it's closed. So we have achieved, we have gotten what we can out of a situation, a maximum happiness and fulfillment. As much as we could get, we got out of that situation. So this deck reads a little different on those, and we're just going to trust that the tarot knows what deck we're reading. And then we have the moon. We have your current situation, looking deep inside, getting in touch with your intuition, understanding who you are. This can be dealing with subconscious issues, like what's underneath it all. You know, she's our only fleshed character in this whole deck, and she's looking at her reflection in the pond, and she's seeing what's inside, what's underneath the flesh, what are some of her secret motivations, what lies within the outer thing. So she's really looking into her intuition. She's looking into, I mean, we have the lily pads here representing a lot of personal growth from the garbage within. So she's going within. So this is sort of where you're at right now, this looking into your subconscious, looking into what motivates you, looking into, you know, subconscious motivations could be internal landscape stuff, just figuring out who you are now. I mean, maybe this cycle has completed and this is done and this is over. And you know, that job or that project or that degree program it has completed. And now it's sort of a regrouping, or who am I now? Deep within. So we're talking about subconscious issues, getting into your subconscious, getting into those things that affect you and affect your behaviors and your decisions that you might be, generally speaking, unaware of. But so this does look at, like, looking into our dreams, what they might be saying, what they might have to offer us as far as insights into things that might be going on in our subconscious and affecting our waking life, our daylight. And so then in your inner landscape, your hopes and your fears, well, this is hopes, but could be fears too. I have some fears about this stuff. This Four of Wands energy. And this is publicly bringing forward. So there's always a public element to this card. And there's always like a harvest element or a leveling up element. I mean, here again, we have this treasure chest that we've gained so much from this situation. And then there's a sense of bringing it forward, bringing it, offering it to the world. So there's always a public element to this, and a moving up, a commitment, a bringing it out into the world, what you have, what you've created, what you've made, what your intuition, what inspires you, and bringing that out forward and showing off sort of, I want to say, your wares. In this one, she's a farmer, right? And she's bringing her stuff to market. To sell. So there's like, this is what I've grown so far this season. This is what I've grown. And in the more traditional Four of Wands, it's more of an engagement card. This is the 1111 card. So relationships, engagement, but there's still a sense of a public expression of the engagement, a public expression of commitment. So it could be being offered a job, signing a contract. It could be just anything that kind of levels up the sort of inspired, exciting thing that's happened. So anything that kind of levels that up and brings that forward into the public. So you could be thinking about, you know, going public with something, thinking about, you know, the work where you've done and people seeing it and people being able to, see and celebrate the work that you've already done. And so she's already grown all these plants and she's bringing them to market, and people can see, you know, the quality of her work and what she's done, and her commitment to that. It could be this victory conquest thing. I mean, because it is a leveling up. It is the next level of the farming endeavor. You know, first you plant the seeds, then you, you know, grow the seeds. First you buy the seeds and you plant out your garden. Then you start growing the seeds, and you know they're going to come in. That would be your Three of Wands. You know they're going to grow. And then the Four of Wands is like, look at what I have grown so far. I've grown so much. So it's looking at your growth and having it be public. So that could be something that you're thinking about. You could be worried about that. Like, what if my flowers suck? What if my carrots have holes in them and little worms and critters in them? And everyone's like, those are the worst carrots we've ever seen. I can't believe it. So you could be worried about being sort of evaluated on how far you've come, or you know, that public component can be, you could be a little bit concerned about it. And then what's at issue here is Three of Swords reversed. So this is heartache, this is pain. It could be the swords. Gravity would indicate that in the reversal, the swords are coming out. This is a betrayal, backstabbing. There's almost a surrender here to heartbreak and heartache and pain, internal pain. So there's a sense of surrender here of someone you trusted, someone you hung out with and trusted, a friend stabbing you in the back. It causes quite a bit of pain. But it could be, how could that be an issue in the reversal? Maybe you're not getting over it as quickly as you had hoped. Maybe it's in the subconscious issue of like having this pain, and maybe this Four of Swords is being afraid that you haven't healed as much as you should have. It's not the act itself. It's something about, you know, that pain and that heartache. So normally it comes in very quickly, very suddenly, as with all betrayals from our nearest and dearest do, come in suddenly and unexpectedly and changes the situation. But the Three of Swords is normally a quick but extremely painful heartbreak. So maybe it's just not as quick as you want and the heartbreak seems to linger. Maybe there's no surrender here to it. You're fighting it rather than experiencing it. And maybe this Four of Wands is about feeling like something that, well, it's usually something that inspires you, and going public with something that inspires you and that you find exciting and that you're generally proud of. But with this moon here, I'm sort of starting to wonder if you're not worried that this heartache isn't quite going very well and you're not very proud of where you're at with it. And you don't want people to see it. And you're getting in there in your subconscious, you're dealing with it, but you may just be just starting to understand that this wound isn't moving through as quickly, isn't healing as quickly as you wanted it to. I mean, we have this elegance and patience, right? So you may be feeling impatient with yourself and with your ability to get over a heartbreak and a pain. What's in your environment? We have a Page of Wands here. So the page is going to be the learner. I think this is illustrated by her being on a swing, younger, possibly, here to learn. This is probably someone in your environment because it is a court card. But there is a sense of learning, of education, but there's also being inspired by something, being excited about something, but you're really not going anywhere with it yet. You're just holding on to, someone here is very inspired and is just kind of holding on to it. They're not communicating with you, I don't think. I think they have something they want to say, but they're not going anywhere with it. They're just sitting here with it right now, for now, thinking about it. So there is a message for you. It's just not coming in. Gosh, I feel like that's the same as last week. Somebody got that. It was just somebody has their eye on you. Was it Aquarius? It doesn't matter. But somebody, you know, watching but not communicating, being inspired but not saying anything, being excited. It could have to do with this new work cycle, there could be, but it is a lot about learning, about inspiration and what's exciting. But this isn't you. This is somebody else. And there's somebody else that's very inspired by what you're doing. It could be somebody from work. It could be somebody that's inspired by your work, that's inspired by what you do and is wanting to learn more. So there's somebody here, they're watching you and they find you very intriguing and inspiring. And they have things that they want to say, but they're not saying them. So there you go. And then, but there's a lot of work stuff going on in here now. Like we have this 10 of Pentacles, we're moving into the 4. So there's work that's inspiring, but there's some sort of heartbreak about it that might be, and this inspiring work is causing you to like look inside of you, dig deeper. And then, yeah, because the moon is sitting right over this 4 of Pentacles. So the 4 of Pentacles is about sort of focused play in a way. It's about being in charge of something and being very focused on it. This little bride is very focused on playing with her play set. What's interesting is it's a bride. And I feel like she's just very committed. So I think that's signifying the commitment she has to playing with her little village here. And there is a focus on money. There's a focus on work. So I feel like this is this is like playfully committed and focused to your work. Like she's enjoying herself. She's enjoying this commitment. She's enjoying this focus, and she's enjoying her work right now. Her work is play right now. So, and I feel like it has something to do with subconscious issues. Like your work right now has to do with digging into the subconscious and digging into those issues down there. So we have this beautiful card. Beautiful card. It's so funny because when I first got this deck, I didn't understand this card, and now I understand this card. I don't know. I get it. It's focused play. It's focused play, but it's work play. It's like, you know, because she's playing banker, right? She's playing banker. So it's a focus and a commitment to this play of playing around with something, but it's a very focused commitment. And you've had to dig into your subconscious to sort of find that sweet spot. So that's your to-do list, is to bring a playful attitude to any work that you must do. Focused, playful commitment. Yeah. Playful focus, playful commitment. Graciousness and benevolence, I believe, this here. Kindness, benevolence. I mean, I think that I'm seeing a connection there between those two cards. That's hard for me to describe. But that graciousness and benevolence, it seems like a friendly play, friendly commitment to something. And then possible outcome here is there's a lot to juggle right now, and you're just got to keep juggling it. So these are two entities. They could be people that need to be in constant negotiation with each other. They're sort of tied together. There's a bond between the two entities. And when they are working together, you can go far. I like how there's a butterfly at the beginning of this reading and a butterfly at the end, right? So when they're working together, you can go very far, and you can... But when you're not working together, when these two things aren't working together, it can be a very difficult situation. So there's just going to be constant negotiations between two things that need to be always negotiated. Yeah, it's a constant negotiation between two things that are bound together, and you're not going to be able to have one without the other, but neither one ever likes where you settle. So it's like a work-life balance type thing, where neither work nor your kids are going to, you know, have everything that they need, but you're going to be constantly giving one more than the other and switching back between the two. And hopefully, overall, it's fair. My kids always used to say, that's not fair. And I'd be like, it's not possible to get perfectly fair, but we're going to approximate fairness here. So this is what we're doing to approximate the fairness. Perfectly fair? Probably not. But as close as humanly possible, that's what we're trying for. As close as possible with the time commitments and the other restraints that we have, and the fact that that chocolate bar cannot be perfectly cut in half. But we're just going to try here. So that's sort of what it is. Just keep trying to keep those things balanced. There's just a lot that needs to be negotiated. So you may have some negotiations coming up with a work situation. But you need to remain, I think, just remain focused on what you're doing, on your work, and your play. All right, let's look at the wild Kuan Yin here. What does wild Kuan Yin have to say here? Maybe that's a victory and conquest. He who controls others may be powerful, but he who has mastered himself is mightier still. I think this might be, oh my gosh, that moon card. Yes, this moon card, mastering yourself first, and then bringing that mastery into your work/play, your play work. Okay. Yeah, because there is like a focus on working here and being very focused on what it is that you need to do, focused on that. And so we're getting this sort of wintertime card of just your time's going to come, right? But for now, it's a focus time. Now is time to focus and stay focused on your work here, which has something to do with your subconscious. Somehow delving into your subconscious makes this a lot better and a lot cooler, this work. So we have this keeping it simple. Your mind may convince you that manifesting your destiny is more difficult or complex than it needs to be. Yet the guidance of the Divine Mother is to keep things simple. Do what you can do, let go of everything else. So she's just holding on here. She's got something in each hand. She's got like a guiding stick, or she's a shepherdess. So she's got her shepherd stick and some food in her hand. And so this is like the wand of inspiration and the pentacles, the coins here. And she's just gonna, it's just a time of I feel like focused effort without seeing the reward quite yet. You're going to have to juggle some things. You need some focused effort. You need to be working with your subconscious. So there is like keeping it simple. It doesn't have to be that complex. Just keep going. Spring will come all by itself. But you stay focused and stay... it's not going to be too complicated. When the spring comes, it's going to come by itself. But your job is to still, be taking care of your sheep and focused on what you need to do throughout sort of a winter time without... Well, yeah, you're really thinking about the fruits of your labor, the rewards here eventually of the fruits of your labor. But for now, it's just stay focused on your work, stay focused on yourself. It's almost like a stay in your lane vibe and just just keep working towards your goals. You are dreaming of the rewards here, but just stay focused and keep working. All right, so Libra, I hope that was helpful for you. I hope you've had a wonderful birthday season. Thank you so much for your likes and your comments and your subscribes. I very much appreciate them. Have a wonderful week.